Hello my friend, welcome in Light Code channel and welcome in new episode. In this episode we talk about response. What is the response? What is the header and type of the response and other thing. First of all, let me show you the response. I copy this information from the documentation. The Laravel documentation says all route and controllers should return a response to be sent back to the user browser. Laravel provides several different ways to return the responses. The most basic responses is returning a string from a route or controller. The framework will automatically convert the string into full HTTP response. But let me show you the type of the response. Response may be a string, array, JSON, and object. Let me show you that in the VS Code. For example, I created in a previous lesson project which use it for show you how we can send requests to our project. I use this project for saving time. And also I need to show you JSON response, so I need this project now. Let me create a new route. For example, I say route, excuse me, Arabic, route, yes, get, for example, and I name it, for example, user, and here I create an anonymous function and parentheses and brackets, and here semicolon. So after that I say if, for example, request, I say here request element HTTP request, yes, and $, for example, request. I say if $, request, for example, has a variable, I say it year, excuse me, has, and that say after that, I think has, and the variable will be year, and this year $, request year equal, for example, 12. So then year, yes. Then, excuse me, I close this windows. So I come in, down. So I say if request has year and year equal 12, then do this for us. For example, return response. This response. I say I add this string. I need to show you string response, so I say this is string response, this semicolon. So let me show you that. So I go back to the browser here and say localhost, for example, I say user, user, and for example year 12, I hit enter. You can see here our project to show us this string is response. This is a string response. So I need by this let me show you that by this response we can respond to the user string response. So if we need to respond to the user, for example array, we can do this by this command. For example, I say return response to the user here, and end by the semicolon, and into response I create a new array. So I say for example first name, it will be for example Jack, and last name, for example last name, it will be for example json, Jack JSON. What happened? So let me copy it. I make mistake. I must cut this from this here and here and edit it here, paste, and remove this column. Yes, everything is okay. If year equal 12, it will return this response, this string response. Other else, it return the array with first name Jack and last name JSON. Let me show you that in the browser. So if I change this number, for example, for 14 and hit enter, so you can see here the response converted to array to the JSON format, to array. This response array, and this response will be string. For example, 12. This is string. So after that, I need to show you JSON response. So I come back to the previous lesson and use the previous application we created. So I come back to the VS Code and use this route. For example, I say create. So I back to the browser, and here I say I remove this, delete, and hit enter. This previous project, we created data form and send request to the our project. So I say JSON, for example, and for example Brisam, this I send data. This response, this JSON response, you can see here this token. This token is generated automatically by CRSF protection, and the first name JSON and last name Brisam. I show you in this episode the three types of response. Let me show you that. Response, I show you string, array, JSON. Object, I will separate episode for show object response to the user. I think this enough for this episode. In the episode, we familiar with familiar with the response and the type of the response: string response, array response, and JSON response. Thank you for watching. If this episode helpful to you, please support us. I wish I can see you later in a new episode. Thank you for watching again, and goodbye.